What's up, everybody? What's up? Apologize already ahead of time. I'm late. I planned my day and it didn't go right. So I'm late, but we got to talk about this. So I'm here.
I'm here.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I'm late, but I'm here. It's my fault. But we got to talk about it. So yeah, I planned my day. It didn't go the way I thought it was going to go, but we got to talk about this. I think DeeDee's here. DeeDee's here too. Okay, cool.
Get your butt in.
There she is.
There.
Hello.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Trying to watch this weather. We got some bad weather up here again.
Again? We had a perfect day today in Florida. It was perfect. It was nice.
They're
hot.
talking about hell size. What do you call it? Golf ball hell size,
Oh no.
or whatever you want to call them.
We're not doing that.
And winds up to 80 miles an hour tonight. So yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's terrible. So, Love in Paradise. So I was in Lake Buena Vista, but I was watching it. I was in line. I was watching it with my AirPods in. Because you know how I am. I can't be away from my shows. So I was watching it, and there was some crazy stuff that happened. And April and Valentine were not on. And who else wasn't on? Scott and Lydia were not on. And we saw Scott might be bringing a new love interest to the island. So I'm really excited about that because I kind of think it might be this ex that he's been talking about.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting because he's said that he never wanted to end it with that ex. So if she's back in the picture, I wonder if that's going to be like a permanent thing because the last we heard was she took the money and ghosted him, and he hadn't heard from her. And then this was the first time he heard from her. And if he got her to come to the DR, because where was she from? Was she from Brazil or Colombia? I don't remember. Colombia, yeah. So if he got her to come to the DR, maybe this is the start of something that they're rebuilding.
Yeah.
I hope that Lydia is off the island, though, because if she and Nicole are still there, right? Like on the resort property, and they see Scott with this woman, I already know that it's going to be a bad situation, right? So I'm hoping that Lydia and Nicole have exited the resort. They are back home, out of sight, out of mind, because I don't want Scott to get hurt. You know, I don't want Scott to be outnumbered or chased off the island, right?
I'm hoping Lydia and Nicole have exited the
Yeah.
They left with suitcases, so we'll see.
You never know with them, right? You never know.
You don't. You don't.
So who should we talk about first? So we got Matthew and Anna, who have been kind of my favorites. So I'm kind of glad that we got them back. And Matthew finally is telling Anna about the up to 2 years. Okay, so it's already been like, what, 8+ months. So adding up to 2 years, we're hitting the 3-year mark, basically. And actually, Matthew found out on this episode that it is Anna's dream since she was a 4-year-old girl to move to America. And he didn't realize that it was more of a life dream than this would be awesome because that's where you live. So I think that, but I feel like that's not true because he's always said, I feel like if she finds out about the visa taking so long, she'll just find somebody else. And be with him. He always felt like it wasn't about him specifically. It was about where he could take her.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he's pretending like, oh, well, I hope our love is strong enough. I hope it wasn't just about the visa. I think she's made it pretty clear. She's been very honest. One thing I like about Anna is she's super honest about it. She's like, look, this has been my dream. It is just a bonus that that's where you're from. And we met. But she was like, this is my dreams coming true and all the pieces have put themselves together. She's never once said, oh, I don't want to come to the US, or, oh, I don't think that that's a good idea. You should move here. She's been super honest, and I respect honest people. If you're going to be honest, I don't even think of it as using anyone because everything is out in the open and on the table.
Yes, but when he said, is US more important than me? And she's like, I'll be back. And then just doesn't come back. I mean,
it is her dream since she was 4 years old, and she never thought that it was going to come true. And I guess they had looked at other options for her to come, but they didn't qualify for any of those visas, so they had to do it this way. Yeah. So I mean, it is pretty clear this is her goal.
Yeah.
And without Matthew, the goal can't be achieved. So I feel like she's not doing anything wrong. Like, I don't feel like she's taking advantage of him because she's open. She's like, look, this is what I want. You're going to help me get there. I don't want it to take a long time. Like, I don't know. I feel like she's honest. I'm not mad at her. You know, I have goals. I feel like I'm very motivated to make my goals happen. And I feel like if she even likes Matthew, she doesn't have to love him. Even if she likes him, she's not really doing anything wrong, right?
Sure.
I feel like you disagree. Do you feel like she's using him simply for the green card? She doesn't want him at all?
100%.
100%.
Both of you?
I told you that from the beginning. She's only with him for the green card, but she's being honest about it. I can give her that.
But she hasn't been honest about it all along until
No.
So
she hasn't. But I mean, she had the red flags from the first time they were on the show. So
respect the honesty now, but I disrespect the fact that it took her this long to say something to him because she's let him along, you know, the whole way.
She's trying to say that Matthew is the one withholding the truth because she's like, I feel like he knew that this was going to take longer and he's been wasting my time. Now, technically, he has known, not this whole time, but he has known. He knew before he got on that plane to go there. He did know and he didn't tell her, but he was scared to tell her because he's like, well, what if this is the end of our relationship? And I think, you know, both of you would agree this is probably going to be the end of the relationship. 3 years is a long time because in your minds, she's with him just for the green card. She doesn't even like him. So 3 years is a really long time to be waiting around. And she's like, what if he's lying? What if he's withholding information from me?
3 years
I don't know.
Long time to pretend to love somebody, but then when you find out you have to pretend for another 2 years, that's a really long time, especially when you're young. When you're in your 20s and the whole world's ahead of you and you got this dream right there, you feel like it's right at the edge of your finger. And then you're like, okay, by the time I'm 30, so, you know, her dreams are quickly slipping away and she doesn't want to waste it on somebody she's not in love with. So it's going to be done in no time at all.
I still think her starting over with somebody new to get a green card, it'll take even longer. So I want her to just wait it out, you know, because I'm like, you started this process with him. He says that the paperwork has been started and it's in the processing stages. So her stopping that process and finding someone new and starting over, the time that it takes to process will start over. Like if she really wants this, she should stick it out. And I know that sounds bad because she should love him too. But
well,
I think that
put up with Gino. I mean, she's put up a while.
I know, right? You just have to stick with it. You have to wait it out. What is it? Roll with the punches. You know, you just roll the punches. Whatever happens, you just roll with it because the light at the end of the tunnel, it's right there. You can see it. You just have to keep your eye on the prize. And I feel like Matthew, he knows that this girl is out of his league. Like, he's accepted it. You know, he's like, she doesn't have to be with me. You know, they saw that at Carnival with all the guys approaching her. Like, why would you want to be with this guy? You can be with me. You know, like, he knows, he's accepted the fact that she could do better if she wanted to. So I don't want him to sit here and try to be like, oh, well, I don't want her to leave me because I can't give her the green card. Like, you knew the deal when y'all got together. She's beautiful. She can get any guy in that country or any country, you know, whatever. That's real, any country. She chose you because you can do something specific for her. And that's the deal. And I don't like that he's pretending like that wasn't the arrangement. Because he's like pretending like, well, what if she's only using me for the green card? Like, you proposed to her the day you arrived in the airport because that's what you know that she wanted. That was what was going to keep this relationship going. She needed that ring on the finger to start the K1 process. Like, stop pretending like that's not what was going on.
But I also feel like even if it happened tomorrow, the visa is not going to get approved because there's no way she can pass all the tests, all the questions, everything there is to know about him because she's not in love, not invested. So it's, you know, it's not going to happen.
They've spent like what, a few weeks physically together. Like, I think in total, like out of these, like almost a year, he spent like a week there, and then 5 months later he spent another week, and I think this trip is only 5 days. Yeah. Like, so they spent like so little time together. That's why it's like, how serious does Matthew think this is outside of, you know, he's gonna bring her to America and that's her dream. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with her dream. I respect her for having that dream. And she even said, she's like, I didn't think it was ever going to come true.
Yeah.
You know, and then I met you, and then, you know, this opportunity arose. And I respect that she was honest. She's being super open.
Yeah.
That, look, this is something that I've always wanted, and it aligned this way. And it just happened to be you are from the U.S. I mean, maybe it didn't just happen that way. Maybe
Right.
it happened that way on purpose. We don't know. We weren't there. But that's how it happened. And I want her to come to America. I feel like she would do really well here. She's a boxer. And, you know, I follow the UFC. I love the female boxers. Like, I want to see her come here and do
really
what
good.
she wants to do. Right.
Yeah. So I know we're not talking about Scott and Lydia at the moment, but Scott's asking if he looked sexy. Did you see his Instagram where he posed as Dr. April?
I did. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That I'm gonna
Commented on it.
I'm gonna repost that. That was my favorite post. I was actually in a place where I had poor reception when I saw it, so I couldn't repost it. But oh my God, that is amazing. I wish I had the picture. I would share it in the chat right now. Scott, I love it. There's a Instagram post called like 90 Day Rocks, and she dresses up like all of the characters, and I got that vibe, right? And I was like, Scott, please dress up like every single person on this season of Love in Paradise and post it, please. Can we start like a series? Because I need this in my life. I was laughing so hard. People around me were like, what are you laughing at? I saw the picture.
He looked like her in his video, and it was like, that is so funny. But then when you watch the live with him and her, like, he was spot on. He was so spot on. I was like, holy cow. They could be twins. It was awesome. Go, Scott. Good job.
Scott, we love it. Keep going. Keep doing this. Okay, so I want to talk about, what's their names? Jordan and Everton, because we finally got another scene with Jordan and Everton. And, you know, I've been super skeptical about Everton because 12 years is a very long time to be with somebody and you're not engaged. You're not talking about getting married. She didn't meet his mom until just now on this episode, and they've been together for 12 years, and she's been physically taking care of him, like, monetarily since COVID, and they have a $600,000 piece of land, which to this day we have not seen physically, which that's a whole nother road to go down. But they have this together, and Everton's mom, or it was his sister, I believe, asked if you guys are going to get married. And he said, that's the last thing on my mind. And I'm thinking, this is very peculiar to me because we know that he has 2 kids by 2 different women who he takes care of. And he's taking money from Jordan. And he has no interest in marrying Jordan. So the first thing I thought of was, he's still with one of these women. Right? Is that where your mind went? Because why wouldn't you want to marry the woman who's been financially taking care of you for the last 2.5 years? Why would that be the last thing on your mind?
We already know that he's cheated on her. So what else is he not doing? The one thing I do respect her for, though, I mean, I didn't have a lot of respect in the beginning. I was like, man, she's lying. I felt like there was a lot there that she wasn't telling him. But when I saw her with his mom, and she's like, no, you let me do the dishes. You relax. We'll include you. I was like, you marry her right now.
Yeah.
You need to marry right now.
Not right. She's taking care of him. She's sending him money. She's helping his mom. She's valuing his mom because she said when she was 30, she lost her mom. And seeing his mom and knowing that that's a part of her family and she wants to be married into that family and showing the respect that she has for his mom. And then the way that he just disrespected her, he was just like, I don't want to talk about that. This is just business. And she's like, there can't be business. We would never be doing business if we weren't in love.
Yeah.
She was like, you wouldn't have my money in the land that I have in power of attorney of my land if we weren't in love, if we weren't working towards marriage. And I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Why would she hand over $600,000 for a piece of land with a man that she has no interest in marrying? That would just be crazy to me. I mean, there are business deals where people invest money with people that they don't want to be with, but those are business deals. This is a 12-year relationship where they have been building towards marriage. Or I guess Jordan was. I guess Everton never was. That was never a part of it. Because he's like, maybe one day down the line, we can get there.
That when they got back together, she thought they were going to pick up where they left off, and that was engaged. I didn't realize they were engaged before. I just picked that up tonight. I don't remember hearing
But she said that he never bought a ring, right?
been engaged. He's never even asked her to marry him. There's never been a ring or anything.
Right.
She said that on the first episode.
Or is she getting them? They pick up where they left off, and now they're so she just assumed they were engaged again. You got to be engaged once. To
Maybe
be engaged again.
He's been promising her.
I think he said something about getting married, but there was never a ring.
Yeah.
So I think she might have took that more seriously than he did. You know, but a lot of times, guys, you go out on a good date, and the moonlight's nice, and you're having drinks, and you say some things you don't really mean at the time. You look in her eyes, she's looking back at you. You have a romantic night planned, and you're like, oh, you know, one day I would have kids with you, and I would marry. And then the next morning you wake up and you're like, oh, hopefully we were both drunk, you know, when I said that, because that is not what he meant, obviously.
The next morning you wake up and say, I'm going to shut my mouth because you just sent me $600,000. I'm going to tell you about a piece of property with it, and woohoo!
I really hope that he didn't swindle this $600,000 because we never saw the land, right? And I'm really worried where this money really is. I want to see a deed, a land deed, something that proves that he took the money and did what he said he was going to do with it. Yeah. Because what if he took the money and he swindled it? What if he bought like a house in his name or a house in his kid's mother's name, something that she can never get back? That's my biggest worry, because she put all of her trust in him, all of this trust. She wired money across the world to give to him in just hopes that he did with the money what he said he was going to do, and I still haven't seen no land. Like, that was my money, the first thing we would have did was went to the Cayman Islands and surveyed my land. Yep. That's the first thing we would. I don't want to meet your mama. I don't want to meet your kid. I don't care about that. Show me the money. Where did my money go? Where is it? And what have you done to develop it so we can start making money back? Like, I have no idea why she's wasting her time, like, meeting the family. Like, the first thing we would have did is took a diverted trip to the Cayman so I can see what my money bought.
Yes, I agree.
I'm in total agreement. I would have been like, the heck with the Jamaica, we going to the Cayman. I want to see what you bought. I want to see this land. I want to see where our business is going. Why this land costs $600,000. I need to see. I need to see paperwork. I need to see titles. I need to see whatever it is the Cayman gives you. I need to see it.
So it's bare land, correct? That's what I'm understanding.
Mm-hmm.
That's what has been said, that everything. I mean, it's bare. It's still wooded land. I mean, they still have to cut the trees down. They still have to do the doing the light posts. They still got to do the sewers. They still got to do everything. It's just a wooded area. So you mean to tell me $600,000 for a wooded area?
That's what I was thinking, because I was like, for $600,000 in the Cayman, you could buy an already standing hotel, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not into real estate, but like, I'm assuming for more than $500,000 in the Cayman Islands, you could get an already standing structure.
That's what I'm.
Right?
Looked up the cost of property in the Cayman Islands.
I was looking it up the other day, and it varies about different prices. But everything that I seen had the buildings on it.
Right.
But it depended on like where you wanted it on the island, So for $600,000, they could have got a lot more than woods.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like, at least something with an apartment complex, something that could generate some income right away.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
buy something with the structure, convert it into some apartments, and just start renting stuff out right away, and then start returning on your investment. Because right now, they just swindled $600,000. It's useless because you can't do anything with wooded land. Like, you could probably cut the trees down and maybe sell the trees.
Yeah.
For firewood or whatever.
I don't know, how did she spend $600,000 at one time? Like, how? Because just to send money to Mexico, just $100, they are practically interrogating you.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Yeah, I heard anything over like $10,000, you have to have like signatures of different people, and it has to go through higher levels, like at the bank. And she said she wired it. Yeah. I thought it was illegal to wire that much money overseas, like without.
Something's not adding up. I mean, just like I said, just to send $100 to Mexico, they're asking you like almost 20 questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Some people on Twitter.
$600,000.
some people seem to think the land isn't really a thing.
I think it's
So a lot of people are saying that that's just an added part of the
There's
story.
no way possible. There's no way. I don't think so. And I think I think he is, if he's not with his kid's mom, he's with someone else. That's why
for sure.
he doesn't want to get married. And something else too. If she has been sending him money to take care of his mom, why is his mom's house looking like that?
Yes.
I saw that too. See, that was kind of where my mind went with the swindling of the money, because I was like, his mom's house isn't done, and there's no windows, and there's issues. And I was like, she's sending him money specifically. She sent him the money for the land. And it's like, what if he's doing other things with the money? Or what if he like started his own business without her with the money? Because I don't know, my mind just kind of went everywhere. When he said, I don't want to marry you, and I was like, you're taking this woman's money and you don't want to marry her. Like, now my mind is going a lot of different places, because I'm trying to figure out, what do you want from her then? Because she's in this because she's in love with you and she wants to marry you. You're in this for something else. So what are you doing with this money? And then the fact that his mom was living like that made me wonder as well. I was like, all this money that you have sent to you, you don't have to work for it. It's just given to you. You can make sure that your mom's home is better. Because he said that that was his bedroom that she was going to sleep in. He was staying there. Why wouldn't you want to make the place where you're sleeping better with the money that you're receiving?
You bet your ass, if I scammed somebody out of even $100,000, my mom would have everything she needed if she was still alive. That would be take care of. So
Most definitely. But you know, I have been like not against them, but I am more on her side now because of how she treated his mom.
Yeah.
She was not judgmental.
Yep.
You know, she was like really welcoming, and you know, and to be honest, his mom's home is 100 times worse than Valentine's mom's home. And you see how April was acting.
Yep.
So just imagine if Valentine took April to a home like that.
Oh my God.
So
April.
Hats off to her for, you know, just being a really, you know, respectful person and not judging.
Yep.
And she had no problem sleeping at the home as well. There's no running water. There's no toilet. There's no nothing.
Yep.
There's not even hardly a roof.
Yeah, that's where he said, this is where you're sleeping. I literally said, I was like, nah, that's not where I'm staying. There's no running water. I'm not staying there.
And what did she say? She said, okay, cool.
Because I was like, an animal could just crawl up in this house and eat me. Like, no, we're not doing that.
Yep.
Show me the nearest Ritz-Carlton and I'll figure it out. You know, like, that is not happening. But you're right. She was very open to living the way that they live. She was open to being a part of the family any way that their family was living, in any type of lifestyle. She just wanted to be a part of that family, which is the complete opposite of April. April was like, this is ridiculous. You don't live up to my standards. I can't even eat in your house. She literally said, I might die.
Yeah.
So they're cooking. Like, it doesn't get any more rude than that. Like, how do you figure, April, they've been eating and cooking this way their whole lives, and they're alive and well and healthy. You're dating a healthy personal trainer. Okay, so how rude can that be?
Yeah, I'm disgusted by that.
Yeah. I can't believe Everton, embarrassed her like that. I mean, what other woman is going to accept you as, you know, look at your home, look at your mom's home. She's sending you hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you still have your mom living the way she's living.
Yeah.
And she is not judgmental.
Yeah.
She even offers to help your mom. She washes the dishes. She tells your mom, you have a seat. You go take a break. I got this.
Yeah.
And then you want to say you don't want to marry her?
Yeah. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
What am I missing?
So
yeah.
I'm kind of irritated with Carlos and Valentine, because Valentine and Carlos called off the wedding, but Carlos said something tonight. He was like, I'm still in love with Valentine, and Valentine is still in love with him. And instead of them just being grown adult men and having a conversation and getting to the bottom of their issues and figuring this out. They're both sitting around pouting like babies, waiting for the other one to fix it. Because even Michelle was like, why did it get to this over this argument? I thought that you would have a conversation about it. I had no idea that I was the reason why you two couldn't be together. And I think what's really annoying is he's like, well, I'm still in love with him. And we know that Valentine is still in love with Carlos. No one's having a conversation with each other. No one is trying to get to the bottom of their issues or figuring out how they can meet in the middle, how they can fix this. They're both wrong, okay? Like, there's nobody who's innocent in this situation. Valentine had no business telling Carlos that Michelle couldn't come to the wedding without meeting her. Carlos had no reason to call off the wedding over that argument. All he had to say was, let's just have dinner with her. Let's sit down and get to the bottom of this. Yes, I did have feelings for her. That is not going to happen. First of all, she said that she has a boyfriend and they're in living together. Yeah. They're in love. They're living together. There was never an option for her that Carlos was ever going to be in her life like that, ever. And I feel like if he would just listen to what she has to say, there's no reason why they had to actually call the wedding off. So I'm really irritated with the both of them because they're just both sitting around pouting and not having a conversation. And they're like, well, I'm just hurt and I'm mad. Well, have a conversation. Grown-ups talk. Grown-ups get to the bottom of their problem. And their only problem is Michelle. And I know that Valentine will say, no, it's emotional cheating. It's dishonesty. No, the problem is he's angry that Carlos has a female friend that he had feelings for. Yeah. But I guarantee you, if we go through Valentine's phone list on his phone, we will find someone on his phone that he once dated or had feelings for that he's still in contact with. I guarantee you, we all have it in there. Every single person. It's not possible for you to not have one person that you were romantically interested in, even if nothing happened, that you just never talked to ever. There's somebody in your life. Right? Yep. So the fact that they're making this a reason why they can't be together is irritating me. Yeah. Because I was like, love is so much bigger than this little bit of bull crap that they're putting out for each other.
Yep. When Valentine left and got up or Valentine, when he left and got Carlos's hand, that would have been it for me. I'd have been like, oh, we're shaking hands. Okay, bye. That would have been a wrap. That was so childish.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why? They've been together for 3 years. They've been on and off. I mean, and let's not excuse the fact that they fight a lot and they're very immature, both of them. Yes. They're very immature for their ages. Let's not let that be nothing to talk about. But the fact that they both love each other, they both always got back together after each fight, the fact that they're going to call off a wedding that they already planned. People had plane tickets, okay? Yeah. There was a venue. They went suit shopping, like all of this, and they're going to act like kids and say, well, I'm not going to marry him because he doesn't want to listen to me or he's not going to do what I say. Marriages are not a dictatorship. Yeah. You don't get to tell the other person what they can and can't do, who they can and can't talk to. It's a team effort, right? Like I was always told when you're planning a wedding that you make a guest list together. Yep. There might be two sides, like this side, the family, that side of the family. You make it together, you conversate together, you make the wedding what works for the both of you. If Michelle was the issue, then they could have had a conversation, at least meet her. Like I've always been told, don't hate somebody for me or don't hate somebody for someone else. Yep. You know, like if you want to get to know a person and figure out if they're a good person or not, have a conversation with them, sit down and talk to them. Even if he wanted Carlos to be out of the picture and just Valentine and Michelle sit down, get to know her. She would have easily told him within the first 5 minutes, I'm in a relationship, I'm happy, we live together. And she said on the episode, she's like, it was never a possibility that she was going to be with Carlos, ever. That's just what Carlos thought in his mind. It was never going to come to fruition. So, but he won't listen. Like Valentine is just like, he should just never talk to this person again.
The other thing that bothers me is that Carlos just now said, just this season said he's bisexual. Now, is that something Valentine knew, or is that why he's so pissed off? Because he thought he was just, only interested in men, but now all of a sudden it's like he's interested in women too. So maybe that's why. I'm not excusing either one of their behavior. I think they're both acting like children. But I think that what lit the fire.
You might be
Valentine
right.
always knew that Carlos was
Did he?
bisexual, and Carlos always knew that Valentine was
Polyamorous.
Yeah.
yeah, they always knew. They
I didn't.
always knew.
I didn't
Well,
think they knew about the.
doesn't polyamorous mean that Valentine is attracted to anyone, any gender? If he
Yeah.
feels that vibe with that person, he could be attracted to anyone. So what I don't get is Carlos being attracted. Hey, Randy. Carlos being attracted to Michelle. Isn't Valentine attracted to lots of different people? It doesn't mean that you act on it. It just means that there is a physical attraction, right? Isn't that what polyamorous is? You can be attracted to multiple people. I think it also means you can love multiple people
Yes.
at the same time. So why is it impossible
You
for
can be
Carlos?
in a relationship with multiple people at one
Right.
time.
So why is it impossible that for Carlos to have feelings for more than one person? Why is that wrong? But it's okay for Valentine to be polyamorous, even though he's not acting on it. He could easily be attracted to someone else, or want to be in a relationship with someone else because he's literally in that lifestyle where he could date more than one person and love more than one person. It's just really confusing to me because it seems one-sided. It seems like Valentine is able to be polyamorous, but Carlos is only supposed to be locked into being gay and only liking one person for the rest of his life. That doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
And
not only that, the Michelle thing happened whenever they were broke up. I believe they said the first time they broke up, that's when Michelle came into the picture. So I don't see how Valentine can say that was cheating when that's not cheating if they're not together. I understand the emotional attachment that maybe, Valentine is talking about. I understand that. But he never cheated if they were not together. That's not cheating.
yeah, I agree. I don't
Hey,
know.
Kim. Oh, I think we got it wrong. Someone said Valentine is gay. Pansexual is when you're attracted to people regardless of gender. Okay, we got it wrong. My bad. My bad. So he is gay. But he did say that he was polyamorous, though, right? So what
Carlos?
is the polyamorous?
I mean, not Carlos. Valentine? Yes, he said that he's that polyandrous, that he can be or love multiple people
Yeah,
at one time.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
So
because
why
we
is
were talking about that whenever Seeking Brother Husband was on. We were
Yes,
talking about that. Yeah.
that's where we were talking about that because the jealousy that came from the polyamorous and polyandry lifestyle, we were confused by that as well. Because
yeah.
the whole purpose of the lifestyle is to be able to love multiple people, be attracted to multiple people, but never compromise the love you have for each individual person.
Well,
you never were to question that.
Was also talking about in the beginning when I don't remember if it was last season or beginning, how they were both tops and he would bring in a bottom. So
yeah, that was the first season.
Was that okay? If you can't have friends outside of the relationship, how is that going to be when you bring in another person? It's a disaster if they get back together.
Really? I wanted them to get married, though. I felt like they were a good... Well, I mean, they never actually had sex, so you might be right. Maybe they weren't good together. They don't know that. But I thought that the fact that they stuck together for so many years after so many fights and breakups, I thought that it was meant to be. I was just like, maybe it's meant to be because if somebody breaks up with me 4, 5, 6 times, we're never getting back. Isn't that what Taylor Swift said? We're never getting back together now. Like, it's done. Like, I'm not playing this game with you no more. Like, I'm done. Bye.
Yeah.
But they kept it up. So I was just like, maybe it was meant to be.
Yeah.
But it's not because they're both sitting in where are they, in Colombia, not talking to each other, not gonna get married, canceling plans, telling people it's never gonna happen, and
also
that's their own fault.
Cancel the wedding and storm off. At least leave the country. Like
that's why
that's
why I was like, maybe they're still gonna get married. He's still there.
Yeah.
Like, why would you stay there if there's no chance you're gonna get married? That's what I was thinking. I was like, I know that there's like 3 more episodes. I was like, I'm not writing off the fact that there's gonna be a wedding because he's still there. You're from California. Why would you still be there if you're not getting married?
Yep. I feel like they're gonna get married. I feel like they're also gonna end up getting divorced, but I still feel like
yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. Because they break up too much. Except this time, once you get married, when you break up, it's a divorce. You're 100% right. So let's talk about Juan, Jessica, and Megan. So Juan invites his family over to tell them the big news. They're expecting a baby, and it's also time for him to go back on the cruise. And we know Megan has had a very serious conversation with Juan about his fidelity. And she made it very clear, like, it's not going to end well for you if you hurt my friend again.
Yeah.
And Jessica had a chance to have a serious conversation with him too. So Juan is admitting that he crossed the line. Like, he was like, yes, we talked. Yes, we probably spent more time together than we should have. But he said something that bothered me. She was like, did she know that you're in a relationship? And Juan was like, well, no, I'm private. I don't talk about my private life. If a woman is getting attention from a man and you're spending time with her off the ship, okay, because they were off the ship, they were photos, she's going to think you're available. Mm-hmm. That is not even like, because he's like, she thought it was more than it was. No, you were giving her attention, spending time with her off the ship, because you're a bartender. If she got any time with you without you being behind the bar, you're giving her too much attention and you're leading her on. Yeah. So I'm 100% with Megan and Jessica on that, because there's no reason why this woman should have thought you were, first of all, available. Second of all, pursuing her. If you're in a relationship, your fiance is pregnant, and you're not telling women on the ship that you, first of all, are in a relationship, second of all, engaged, third of all, about to be a father. Yeah. That bothered me a lot. Like, you have to be honest. Women don't know that you're not available when you're all up in their face and you're going on excursions with them and you're taking selfies with them for their Instagram. How the hell was she supposed to know you weren't available?
Yes. I was a bartender for, I don't know, 20 years, and I was married the whole time. I never ever went without my wedding ring. Everybody there knew I was married. Did I still flirt for tips? Absolutely. Did it work? Absolutely. But that was, you know, once passing through. Everybody else that was regulars and stuff knew that I was married, but that's what they do. But he needs to be saying it. I mean, I felt sad. But I mean, when they were having the dinner about the mom's last wishes, I was crying like a baby. Oh. I was crying like a baby.
I was so sad to see how he has to leave his aunts and his uncles after losing his mom, because he was like, they're who remind him the most of his mom. But he was like, my mom taught me, you know, you take care of your family, you do what you have to do for your family, so I have to leave them. But that's going to be so hard. And then the fact that he's going to be a father and bringing a baby into the family, I want them to see this baby. Yeah. Because his family seems so close, so tight-knit. They did things that they were so excited for him when they announced that he was going to be a father. And that was a really hard scene. Like, he never really talked about that before. I didn't know that happened during COVID. I didn't know that situation. And I guess he really is private, because you don't really know what's going on with him. He seems happy. He seems working and doing his thing. But it's like, what is really going on with Juan? I feel like that's the thing. We don't know what's going on with him. And Jessica's like, you're going back on this ship. I don't know what's going on with you. Yeah. I don't know what you're doing. And I get flirting for tips is a way to get extra money. I get it. You know, we were watching Before the 90 Days, and Razvan, he is working for his tips, right? He is taking buttons off in the middle of this.
Talking for tips. He's not working for tips. There's a huge difference. He is not working for his tips.
Yeah, I mean, what he was doing in the city center was a lot. That was a lot for me. Like, I don't know how Amanda's okay with what he's doing on his TikTok, but that's a different podcast for a different day. We're going to stick to Juan and Jessica, but I get the fact that he wants to make more money. He wants to do the most that he can to make tips, but having dates, because from what Megan said, these were dates off the ship, okay? Like, the tips situation is irrelevant, because you don't go on dates with a girl to get more tips. You go on dates with a girl for other reasons. Yes. And the girl's friend said that they were intimate. And one thing that I really want is Juan to just come clean. If he really did make a mistake, Jessica clearly knows. Yeah. You know, she clearly knows what's going on. She's giving him so many opportunities to just say, look, I messed up. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen again. I want to help build my trust with you. But he won't do that. And it's like he's being stubborn, and he's like, well, nothing happened. And she thought it was more than it was. She only thought it was more than it was because you let her on. Yeah. No woman thinks that she's dating the bartender on her cruise ship unless you give her a reason to think that.
Yeah, I agree completely.
I wonder what picture Jessica was talking about, because she told Juan that that the girl sent her a picture as well.
Well,
Yeah.
And
I was wondering.
then one is not okay to stop. She said flirting was fine,
Yeah.
but he needed to let the girls or the women know that he was taken. He's not okay with that. He made it very clear that he's not okay with that. And what picture is Jessica talking about?
Yeah,
I was
I want to see the.
wondering too. And how far does flirting go? I mean, maybe I don't go to bars enough where people need to know that you're in a relationship. How far does it go other than like smiling at each other and getting your drinks?
Yeah.
How far is it going?
Here's your.
I don't go to bars, so I don't know.
I'd wink back at you, whatever you need. Put your $5 down. We're done. I picked the $5 with my wedding ring on my hand, but I still pick it up. But I never went on a date or even left the bar with any of my customers. So that seems silly. But as far as the parents or the family getting to see the baby, I feel like that's going to happen more than we think, because she does go on a lot of cruises. I mean, I can't remember that she was on, but if she can make time for a week-long cruise and afford a week-long cruise, she can, they'll be able to afford a trip over there for a week to see the family, I feel like. Because with him being a bartender, if he wants to continue that, bartenders make a lot of money. I'm telling you right now, they make a lot of money. If he starts bartending here, they'll be just fine.
All right, Kim says, I think he developed a flirty relationship with her, but I don't think it was anything like sleeping together. So, okay, so Kim, the flirty relationship, I think as long as it stayed on the ship in the bar area, everybody's cool with that. Even Jessica, I think, even Megan. I think the fact that the excursions, like off the ship, that's where the flirty relationship like got weird. Because
he left the ship with this other woman.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So that right there is letting the woman know or make her think that he wants something more.
Yeah.
I mean, who goes on excursions with a stranger that you're not having anything with? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
I
need to see these pictures.
I know. I want to see the pictures. Is Megan in here? She was in here. Megan, we would love to.
She was in here a while ago.
Yeah, for like 2 seconds if you're in here. We would love to talk to you. I just want to know, what were the pictures of? And because she said that she saw pictures of him on a family of the girls' Instagram, all of them together as a group on excursions. And then she said the girl's sister or someone said they were intimate. I mean, this is all hearsay. Like, let's be real. We can't believe everything that we hear. I
believe Megan. She was awesome the way she questioned him. And then the other thing that got me is said I know she can't say anything, but she could secretly send us a picture, Kim.
She could blink twice.
Literally, just call once, blink twice.
Oh,
now I lost my thought.
Okay, so Kim says maybe the woman was paying him for like a service, like an escort or like a guide. But see, why wouldn't he just be honest and say that's what was going on? Yeah.
Why didn't he call Jessica and be like, hey, this woman's offering me X amount of dollars to do all this stuff with her, so you don't think that I'm having an affair or cheating on you. This is what's really going on.
Right.
But he hasn't said that.
Right.
He keeps denying it, and they've already seen the pictures of them being on excursions together. And from what I understand, it was lovey-dovey.
And what he did tonight, when it picked up where it left off last week, he said, Megan grilled me about this and this and this, and I hope that she doesn't say anything to Jessica going into this wonderful family thing. But I think that was more, I just hope she doesn't say anything to Jessica.
I caught that too. Because when I heard that line, I was like, see, that makes you sound guilty. Like, I hope she doesn't say anything to Jessica. If you didn't do anything wrong, you can say anything you want to anyone because you're innocent. You did nothing wrong. It's 100% innocent what was going on. But when he's like, I don't want her to say anything because my family will be here and I don't want them to know what's going on. But what's going on? You said nothing was going on. I'm just really bothered by the whole situation because they have a baby on the way. And
something else he said too, that how did he say it? I can't remember word for word, but what y'all talking about the grill out and everything, saying that he's going back on the cruise ship, and Megan saying that she doesn't want him to cheat on Jessica again. Why would you put again in there?
Well, Megan got confirmation from the girls' family that they were intimate together.
But then at the end, when Jessica brings it up to him when they're at their romantic dinner on their last night together, Jessica brings it up. Obviously, Jessica already knew. So I'm so concerned with Megan saying something earlier in the day, because Megan has more information than Jessica has. So
I see. So so when Megan confronted one off when Jessica wasn't there, she must have put more information in it that Jessica knew, and one said, well, you have more information about the situation than I told Jessica. So you giving her more information is going to make things, it's going to open up a whole can of shit, basically, because she believes what I told her. So if you go to her with this new information that you've got from this girl's family, this is going to make this whole thing blow up. And he did say something at the end, too. He was like, this happened months ago, and we're still talking about it. Hey, Kobe, we're still talking about it. And he's like, why can't we just move past it? I was like, we can't move past it because you won't admit to what you're
not being honest. We can't move past it. Just be honest.
That's
I'm seeing that the comments are coming in and out on my side. Cruise ships have guides where you pay. Yes, they have excursions. On the excursions, because like I tell everybody, I go on cruises all the time. I love cruises. The excursions is whenever you pay, you have someone take you. The people on the ship, they don't do that. That's not their job. They stay on the ship to clean and get everything ready for whenever the people come back. So
there's no chance that one was paid as a guide. That's off the table. So one was there off the clock because he wanted
to be there.
Yeah, something's fishy.
Yeah, something smells.
We need to see pictures.
Yeah, Megan, I wish we could talk to you, or you could post some stuff on your story so we could just know what exactly you saw.
Yeah, just anonymously. If it just appears in my DM, that would be awesome. I won't even respond.
Yeah, we won't say nothing. Our lips are sealed.
We won't ask any.
We won't say who gave it to us.
So go ahead and send it to my DM, and I won't respond.
So so Jessica's leaving back to go home, and she's got to go on a cruise ship 2 months later, and she's worried about what's going to happen in those 2 months. That was kind of their conversation they had at the last dinner they had before she was leaving the next day. And I think that trust is super important, especially when there's distance, and she's pregnant. And I think that the stress that he's putting on her during this pregnancy is very disturbing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want her to be sitting around worrying constantly. She's already a mom, okay? She's got 2 kids that need her. She has work. She has all these things. She has all these responsibilities. And now she's sitting here, like, obsessing over what's he doing. If she tries to text him and he doesn't answer, where's her mind going to go? What is she going to be thinking? And that's going to put her pregnancy in jeopardy. That's going to make things more stressful than they need to be. And I'm just worried about her, losing it. Like losing control of the situation. Yeah. And I want Megan to tell Jessica everything. I'm a big advocate of give everybody all of the information so they can make an educated decision. Don't give people bits and pieces of information. Oh, I gotta go shop. Bye, Kim. I'll text you as soon as we're done.
Bye, Kim. Talk to you soon.
But don't give people bits and pieces of info and then try to tell them to make a decision based on absent info that they don't have, because they're not going to make the right decision. And I feel like that's what one is doing. He's like, well, as long as she doesn't know everything, she'll decide to trust me again, and this will go away. And I love the fact that Megan is like, this ain't going away.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to make sure that this is resolved today. Like, she was like, this will not end well for you. You can go back on that ship and do what you did again, but this isn't going to end well for you. And I respect her for protecting Jessica, because like you said, Jessica knows what happened, and she's still with him.
She's still wanting to tell the truth.
Yes.
When a woman asks you something, 99% of the time, she already knows the truth. She's just giving you that opportunity to tell her the truth. And if you sit there and you lie to her, that's not good.
Yeah.
But Megan,
that's not.
Yes. Megan is such a great friend. She's watching those boys so that they can go on their last date. She's been so helpful through all of that. And then to pull him to the side, you know, rip him a new one, but and then not say anything so it didn't ruin anything or bring suspicion to the boys or any family members or anything. She's played it very cool through the whole trip. But she's got Juan knowing that he's not going to make a move without her seeing it.
Yeah. She put him on notice,
Yep.
and I loved it. Because
Yep.
he was like, again, what do you mean? And she was like, oh, don't play with me. I know what you did.
Yep.
Like, and she's like, I know this information, and I can leak it at any moment.
Yep.
So stop playing with me. Because she was just like, you can keep playing games with Jessica all you want. I'm not the one.
Yeah.
Megan was like, I'm not the one. You keep playing games with me, I'm going to fix the whole situation for you myself. And I respect that because Jessica, I think, knows what happened, but she doesn't want to believe it. Because she's like, well, I'm engaged, I'm in love, I'm pregnant, my children love this guy. I'm just going to let this go. Like, I'm going to tell him don't do it again, you know, whatever. And Megan is just like, well, if you let him get away with it and he's going back on the ship, you know, temptation, there's a whole show called Temptation Island, right? Like, the temptation is there. And if you got away with it scot-free the first time, you do it again. Yep. That's the whole purpose of the criminal justice system, right? If you do it once and get away with it, you'll do it again. You have to be punished for making these mistakes. Yeah,
absolutely. And I can't wait for it to come out just so that Jessica can have her peace of mind that, you know, she needs all the answers. She needs the closure to that chapter because no matter what, that's always going to eat at her if he doesn't say something. He just needs to clear the slate and start over.
Maybe Sean Robinson will say something at the tell-all like, Juan, what about this woman on the cruise ship? She's here on the TV screen, and we're going to find out. I would love that, right? Like at the tell-all.
Sean better have the woman on the tell-all, okay?
That's all we really want. We just want to hear the side. Like, there's the truth. There's one side, two sides, and the truth. Yep. We just want to hear all of the sides so we make a good decision on what happened. We know what happened with Megan. We know what Juan is telling us. We know what Jessica believes, but we just want to know what happened. And hopefully Sean has some tricks up her sleeve because every time she asks a question, she's like, do you remember when you said there's going to be somebody pop up on that screen and it's not going to be good for you? It's not going to be good for you at all. Like you said, when a woman asks you to clarify what you told her, she knows you're lying. Yep. Right? She knows you're lying, so you're in trouble.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they need a lie detector test. Yeah. Exactly.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Lie detector test.
Because when he's asked or confronted about it, his face, like his facial expressions tells on itself.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, I got caught. Or, you know, you can tell when someone is guilty of something because if you ask them a certain question or if you're talking to them about a certain question, their facial expression changes. And whenever him and Jessica was talking, he wouldn't even look Jessica in the eyes whenever they were talking. That's another way for you to know they're lying.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And do you notice when she asked him about it, he was like, he cleared his throat. I was always taught when you are about to lie, your voice is really high. Yep. And then you have to stop and clear your throat. I don't know if that's true or not. I was just always taught that. And I was like, him clearing his throat right before he starts talking makes me feel like his voice was about to be really high because he was about to tell a lie. And he has a baby face too. So when he looks sad or angry, he turns red.
Yeah.
So
I've noticed
like you were saying, like he turns red. He has like a baby face, so he looked like you could tell that he was really bothered by the conversation because he was like turning red. He looked sad. His demeanor changed. He wasn't having a romantic dinner anymore. His demeanor was like, oh no, I'm caught. I'm in trouble, like a kid. Like that's kind of how he was reacting. Like mom caught you, and now you're in trouble, and you are waiting to know what your punishment is gonna be. That's kind of how he was acting.
Yeah. I agree. I saw all of that. I saw everything on his face change. It was like, oh, you're so busted.
The longer he waits to say something, or if the truth comes out by, you know, at the tell-all, it's going to be worse.
Yeah.
I mean, if you make a mistake, just own up to it, you know?
Jessica is in the mindset of forgiving him. But that is a limited time only offer. You know, when a woman is going to give you another chance, that expires.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She wants to know that you're ready to admit it and move on and move forward. Don't play around and be like, oh, I'm not going to tell her until I have to. that forgiveness has expired, and now she's over the fact that you lied to her excessively.
Yeah.
Like, she was giving you the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm sorry, and she was gonna let it go. She was just waiting for you to make it right. But it's like, if they pop up at the tell-all and he's busted and he has to tell the truth, she's not gonna be interested in forgiving him then. She's gonna be pissed off because now you made her look stupid on TV.
I agree 1,000%. That's going to be so bad for him if that happens. That's why I said he just needs to come clean while he has the opportunity. She's got the door wide open. He could say, when we first started dating, I made a mistake. This is what I did, and I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again. I'm trying to build my life, blah, blah, blah. She's made it very clear that, if I'll forgive you. A little bit of flirting's okay, and he's wasting that opportunity.
I know. He's stubborn and cocky. Like, you messed up, you made a mistake, deal with it. Like, at work, like when I messed something up at work and my boss is like, oh, you screwed this up. I'm like, yep, I screwed it up.
Yep.
I'm not going to do it again. Like, you just own it and move on. Because denying it, then they're going to come and show you paperwork of where you screwed it up. Like, they already know you did it. There's no point. There's no point. They know I screwed it up. They know my paperwork is wrong. So they're going to be like, look, there's no point. I'm just going to say, you're right. I'm sorry. I'll be more careful the next time. They're not looking to fire you. They're just like, hey, you screwed this up. Don't do that again. It's annoying. I have to fix it. That's all it is. And it's like he's taking this easy forgiveness opportunity and moving forward, and he's dragging it out, making it worse. And it's like, Jessica's only going to deal with so much. Making her look stupid is not, woman likes to be made to look stupid, especially not on TV, not in front of her friends and family. That's not something you want to keep doing to somebody.
Also, they have to remember that those boys are little now, but those boys are going to get big. And when those boys are teenagers or old enough to process what's happening, and they go back and watch this, if, God forbid, Jessica and Juan are not together in, say, 10 years, let's say they're not, let's say they are, those boys go back and watch that. They're going to come back in and be like, what, to my mama? Did you cheat on my mom? I mean, wow. He's going to end.
That's true. Did you notice when they were going on their date, her son was like, take care of my mom?
Yes.
I thought that. So when you said that, that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to go back and watch that, and it's going to hurt them because they put their trust in this man. Yeah. This is not their dad, but they've accepted him. They trust him to take care of them. They trust him to take care of their mom, and that trust is going to be broken, if they go back and see that, and this turns out to be something that he did do.
Yeah. It's going to be awful.
All right, so somebody said that Love in Paradise doesn't usually get a tell-all. Is that true? Now that I'm thinking back, I don't remember watching a tell-all.
Didn't they? Now I have to look.
This is just the second season. The last season, they didn't have a tell-all.
Oh, no.
This is the second season, so maybe we'll get one.
If we don't, maybe we can ask some of the cast members to come on with us, and we can just do a little tell-all of our own. Right? Like, I hope that they'll
get certain ones on here so we can interrogate them.
Yeah, I want Megan on the show, though. Like, I want Megan on the show. She's, like, one of my favorite people from this season. Megan is the bomb.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the creepy vibes we're getting from Everton, does he or does he not remind you of Sherlock?
Oh, yeah, he reminds me of Sherlock.
Yes, he does. Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
At first, I thought he was him. I had to do, like, a double take because they look almost the same. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. I thought I was seeing, wait a minute. They changed his name, but I had to go back and look at season 1. I was like, oh, they almost look the same. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is the third season. Yeah, but he does remind me of Sherlock. Did you guys notice? I don't know if everybody saw this or not. Sherlock got married.
Did he really?
Yeah, he married a girl from his own country after he told Ariana he didn't want to get married at all. He said that he didn't want to.
How it is.
He's married, and I'm gonna, you know what? I'll find the pictures from his wedding and I'll post them on my story so people can see. But yeah, that kind of caught me off guard too, because he made it so clear to her that settling down was just not in the cards for him, and he got married. This was like 4 or 5 months ago, maybe 6 months ago, because I saw the photos and I was like, "There's no way!" And it's legit wedding photos. He married this girl. It's a girl from his home country. And everything, but I was just kind of shocked by that because he didn't want to settle down. He didn't even want to be a dad, honestly. Like, he didn't want to do any of that stuff. So the fact that he's now all of a sudden ready to be that stand-up guy for this new girl, it makes you wonder where her mind is, because he didn't want to do that. So what makes you think he's going to do that for you and stay with it,
Yeah, this is the third season, and there has not been a tell-all so far on any of them.
See, that's not good.
Yeah,
They can't leave us hanging. We need to know what's going on. So, yeah, we're going to try to, if there isn't one, we're going to try to reach out to some cast members and see if we can have them on. So just so we can get a little backstory, even if, you know, there's going to be another season so they can't talk about everything, they can tell us a little more backstory on what happened this season at least, so we're not left hanging. I want to see a land deed from Jordan and Everton, though. I just want to see it. They don't have to show me, like, any other personal info. I just want to see the seal. The stamp of the seal. That's all I want, just to know it's real, you know, and it's from the Caymans. That's all I want.
Of your $600,000 land, so at least I know what it looks like.
It exists.
Yeah.
That's all I want. That it exists. That's it. That's all I want. Oh, there's 3 episodes left after. So there's 4 with tonight's.
Okay.
3 from that. Somebody said how many episodes are left. So there's 3 more. So I haven't ruled out Valentine and Carlos getting married because they're super immature and they fight one day and get along the next. So I haven't ruled it out. There's 3 more chances for them to figure this out.
I mean, we don't know. Married.
Wait.
Maybe Michelle will go talk to him. Maybe Michelle will be the bigger person and go talk to him.
Yeah.
I hope so, right? I mean, I feel like you don't get your money back for weddings, right? I'm pretty sure they're non-refundable once you book everything, because they make suits and they make clothes. They're not going to give you your money back for that. Like, I don't know why they would do that. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, maybe Scott's going to end up marrying his Colombian girlfriend and he'll live happily ever after. And I mean, I hope for him.
I would hope so, but I got word that he filmed on the Family Chantel a couple months ago, so that would link him back to Lydia. So I don't know how this is. I don't know any backstory. This is
Family Chantel and Beyond or Love in Paradise were filming at the same time, because just like DeeDee said before, Nicole had braces on the Family Chantel, and Nicole has braces in part of Love in Paradise. So they do coincide. So I think that, I don't think he's connected to Lydia, but I think that it was happening at the same time.
Oh, so they were probably dating at the time of that. Okay, I got it. So if it's probably still over.
Yeah.
Because that was what I was wondering. I was like, why would he get back with Lydia after what we saw?
Yeah.
So far, I was like, it doesn't make sense. But it was called, I got you. So they were probably still in communication while the filming was, okay, I got it. I got it. Oh, so Carlos said that he hadn't been invited to a tell-all. Okay, so yeah, there wouldn't be one. They usually film the tell-all right around the premiere of the first episode of the season. So you're right. If they haven't filmed one yet, there won't be one. So I'm kind of sad about that.
Yeah.
Let's tweet TLC and DM TLC and see if we can't tell them that they're not doing their job.
Yeah.
Because we need a little more. So let's just remind them that, you know, they got to do their job.
Yeah.
We're doing our job. Yeah. We're watching the shows. We're talking about the shows. They got to do their job. They got to do their part.
I agree. But I think we'll have a better tell-all.
Yeah, ours will be more fun because we're going to ask the real questions. Sean doesn't always get to the bottom of things, you know, so we're going to ask some real questions.
Have to read. We literally have no filters. I mean,
right. There's nobody in our ear cutting us off or saying, don't say that. Nobody's there to do that. We just want to know the truth. Yeah. That's all. We just want to know what happened, if y'all are still together, if this happened, if this didn't happen, if one cheated, you know, we just want to know, you know, yes or no. Blink twice, you know, just tell us.
Well, Megan, Jessica, I'm fixing to go on a cruise, so let me know if Juan's still out there. If it's the cruise ship I'm on, I will keep an eye on him for you.
Yeah.
I'll be like, click, click, click. Yep. I got a couple of cruises coming up this year, so.
You can go undercover and see if he wants to go on some excursions with you.
Yes.
I'll be like, clicking away. I'll be like, here you go, Megan. Here you go, Jessica.
All right, so next week we're going to see that Valentine disappeared on April for 3 days. We don't know why. That was just the preview, so we're going to see how that goes. It doesn't look good for them being together, honestly. It's not looking good, so we're going to have to see where that goes. But he disappears for 3 days, and then we're going to get Scott back next week. Like you said, we're going to talk about this lady that he brings to the resort with him, hopefully after Lydia is long gone and Nicole. or there might be some physical altercations on that. But we're not turned off by that. I mean, we will watch that too, you know. But we don't want anybody to get hurt. We're just saying.
Scott's new girl.
Right.
Well, they left with suitcases, but with Lydia and Nicole, there is no telling.
None.
No telling at all.
Who knows what would happen if they were there.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that was it for this episode. Thanks for joining us. Sorry we were late today. That was 100% my fault. Do not blame the co-host. I was the one that was not home. Thank you to my co-hosts, Cara and DeeDee. Make sure you're following them. They're tagged in this video, and we're saving this video in case you want to go back and watch it. I'm George Mossey. It's the George Mossey Show, and we'll talk to all of you guys really soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.